Quadrilateral part 2. In this video, we are going to see the special properties of different types of quadrilaterals. Let's see the types of quadrilaterals. Special types of quadrilaterals and their properties. The first one is parallelogram. So what is parallelogram? A quadrilateral in which opposite sides are equal and parallel. Here opposite sides are equal and parallel. So what are the properties? So first one is both opposite sides are equal. So that only the definition telling you. So consider ABCD is a parallelogram. Then AB is equal to DC and CB is equal to DA. And second one, opposite angles also equal. So this angle is equal to this angle. Means A is equal to C, B is equal to D. Next, sum of any two adjacent angles is 180 degrees. Sum of any two adjacent angles is 180. So let us consider here two angles A and B. A and B are, if we add both means 180 will come. Why? Because this line are parallel. So AD and BC are parallel. This is your transversal. So this A and B are co-interior angles. Sum of the co-interior angles is equal to 180. We know very well. So similarly, B plus C, C plus D, D plus A are also equal to 180 degrees. So next one, diagonals bisect each other. Super important point. Diagonals bisect each other means, suppose the diagonal AC and BD meets at P, then AP is equal to PC. AP is equal to PC and BP, this length is equal to this length. BP is equal to PD. So next point, each diagonal divides parallelogram into two congruent triangles. So two congruent triangles. Let's consider the diagonal AC. AC here we have. AC divide this parallelogram into two parts. The first one is this one, upper triangle. Second one is down triangle. So both triangles are congruent to each other. Special point, very important point. Next one, if you consider the diagonal BD, now this triangle and this triangle and this triangle both are congruent. So this point very important, note it. Next one, in case of parallelogram, the diagonals need not to be equal length. Means AC not equal to BD, no need to be equal. Need not to bisect at right angle. The angle between two diagonals is not right angle. Need not bisect angle at the vertex. Here also no need. Okay. So seventh point, the lines joining the midpoints of adjacent sides of parallelogram is a parallelogram. So what is the meaning? If you take the midpoints of the parallelogram, so suppose this side midpoint if you take P, this side midpoint if you take Q, this side midpoint if it is R, this side midpoint is S. If you join P, Q, R, S, the figure formed is a parallelogram. Still it is a parallelogram. So nice one, note it. The parallelogram that is inscribed in a circle is a rectangle. So the parallelogram inside the circle, if a parallelogram lying inside the circle, look at the diagram, then the figure is nothing but rectangle. Then ABCD is a rectangle. If parallelogram lies inside a circle, then it is a rectangle. So let's move next point. So the parallelogram that is circumscribed above the circle is a rhombus. ABCD is a rhombus. Look at the figure here. Now parallelogram is lying outside of the circle. If a circle is passing by touching the sides of parallelogram, then that parallelogram is nothing but rhombus. 2 points, remember, if parallelogram lying inside of the circle, then it is a rectangle. If parallelogram lying outside of the circle, then it is a rhombus. Next one, area of the parallelogram, base into height. So easy thing, base into height. So let us consider a parallelogram. I am showing here. So this is suppose B, this is A. So opposite sides are equal. So base is B. So formula is base into height. So height I want to find. Just drop a height here like this. This is your height. So here perpendicular. Then you are getting this is a right triangle. Here they gave angle theta. Okay. So this will be, so formula you can apply opposite side by hypotenuse. So sin theta is equal to opposite side. This will be h by a. So I want h now. H is equal to a sin theta. A sin theta. So they said base into height. So base is b into height is a sin theta. So finally AB sin theta is the one more formula you can remember. Product of any two adjacent sides and sine of the angle. Sine of the angle. Okay. So this is also very important. AB into sin theta. AB into sin theta. Okay. So next one. Perimeter. Perimeter of the parallelogram is easy only. So both opposite sides are equal. So 2 into sum of any two adjacent sides. Okay. So this is very easy. Next one is very important. The relation between sides and the diagonals. So sum of the squares of the diagonals is equal to 2 times of the sum of the squares of any two adjacent sides. So this is the diagonal. This is the diagonal. AC square plus BD square is equal to 2 times of this side and this side, or this side in this side. So 2 times of AB square plus BC square. This is also very important, useful for solving in the relation between sides and diagonal type problems. So next one, parallelogram that lie on the same base and between same parallel lines, those areas are equal. So if two parallelograms are lying in between parallel lines, having same base, then both parallelograms have same area, equal area. So here 13 points are given. These 13 points are very important for especially foundation, IIT foundation children, and as well as CBSE children also. The students who are studying up to 10th standard, maybe 11th standard also, this topic, this concept is very important. Please note these all the points. So next one is a rectangle. A rectangle is a parallelogram in which all four angles at the vertices are right angle, that is 90 degrees. So rectangle is also a parallelogram, but extra point is the angle at the vertex is 90 degrees. All angles A, B, C, D are 90. That only you have to note down. So what is the properties? Opposite sides are equal and parallel. Same property we have for parallelogram. We'll continue. Next, angles are equal to 90 degrees. Each angle is equal to 90. Yes, very important points. Please note down. Next, diagonals are equal. So this is also important points. But in parallelogram, diagonals are not equal. In rectangle, diagonals are equal. Bisect each other, but those are not makes 90 degrees. Means those are not at right angles. So fourth point, the figure formed by joining midpoints of the adjacent sides of rectangle is a rhombus. So let us consider this is a rectangle. The midpoints P, Q, R of the sides, if you join, means the figure formed is a rhombus. Note it, very important. So next one, the quadrilateral formed by intersection of the diagonal intersection of angle bisector of the parallelogram is a rectangle. So let us consider what is the meaning of this point first of all. So angle bisectors of a parallelogram. Let us take a parallelogram like this. This is a parallelogram. We have to draw angle bisectors. So for this angle, this is the angle bisector. Same way you have to draw one more angle bisector. For 4 angles you draw 4 angle bisectors. So the 4 angle bisectors will meet the intersection of angle bisector forming a quadrilateral. The inside you are getting a quadrilateral. That quadrilateral is a rectangle. So special point. Next, area of the rectangle, you know very well, length into breadth. Next, diagonals of the rectangle. Diagonal of rectangle is nothing but square root of length square plus breadth square. So suppose this is length, this is breadth, then opposite sides are equal. This is also breadth only. So if you join like this, this is the one of the diagonal. So here 90 degrees. So you can apply right triangle, means Pythagoras rule. So this is the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is equal to square root of sum of the two sides. So square root of sum of the squares of two sides. So L square plus B square. So diagonal is equal to root of L square plus B square. So perimeter you know very well. Sum of the all the sides means here two opposite sides are equal. So 2 into length plus breadth. So 2 into L plus B. 2 into L plus B is the formula for perimeter of the rectangle. So these are the 8 points we have in rectangle. Please note down, very important. Next one, rhombus. Rhombus is a parallelogram with all sides are equal. Adjacent sides are equal. All sides are equal. Then it is called rhombus. A parallelogram in which all sides are equal, then it is called rhombus. Look at the properties. Opposite sides equal and parallel. Same property as we have for parallelogram. Opposite angles are equal, same property as we have for parallelogram. Diagonals bisect at right angle, very important. Diagonals makes 90. Look at the figure. This is the rhombus. So diagonal, these two diagonals are makes 90 degrees here. Okay, so diagonals bisect each other at right angle, and this length and this length are equal. This length and this length also equal. So diagonals bisect each other at right angle. Okay, next, diagonals bisect at the vertex angles also. Diagonals bisect the vertex angles also. So very important. So diagonal bisect vertex angle. So this is the diagonal. So this diagonal bisect angle here, suppose 60 degrees means this is 30, this is 30, like this. So A and A, this angle equal. Same way this angle and this angle equal. Same way this angle and this angle equal. So diagonal bisect the vertex angle. Very important point. Sum of any two adjacent angles is 180. Same property. The figure formed by joining midpoints of adjacent sides of rhombus is a rectangle. Now we have a rhombus. If you join midpoints, if you take midpoints of the rhombus and if you join, then the figure formed is a rectangle. Previously we have studied that the figure formed by joining midpoint of rectangle is a rhombus. Now the figure formed by joining midpoints of rhombus is a rectangle. You can remember like this: rhombus for rectangle, rectangle for rhombus. Next, area formula. Area same formula as we have for parallelogram, half into a product of the diagonals is the extra formula we are getting here, and remaining are same only. Area of the rhombus is equal to base into height. That is equal to half into product of the diagonals. And one more formula we have that already discussed: product of the any two adjacent sides into sine of the angle. Okay, these three formulas we can use for finding area of the rhombus. The next one is square. A parallelogram whose all sides are equal, whose angles are each equal to right angle, is known as square. So you have to note down here: parallelogram in which all sides and all angles equal. Okay, that too equal to 90 degrees. Then it is known as square. Thus, each square is a parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus. Square we can call as parallelogram, rectangle and rhombus. So very important. Next one, properties. All sides are equal and parallel. Same property. Next one, all angles are each equal to 90 degrees. This is very important. We know in square all angles equal to 90 degrees. Diagonals are equal. This is also very important point. Bisect each other at right angles. This is very important. Okay, in square diagonals are bisect at right angles. This point very important. So next one, diagonals of an inscribed square is equal to the diameter of the inscribing circle. Suppose a square is inscribed by a circle, then the diagonal of the square is nothing but diameter of the circle. This is also very important. Next one, side of circumscribed square is equal to the diameter of the inscribed circle. Okay, suppose a circle is inscribed in a square. So look at the figure here. We have the square. We have in this square a circle is passing by touching the sides of square. Then diameter of the circle is nothing but side of the square. So super important point. Next one, the figure formed by joining midpoints of adjacent sides of square is a square. So midpoints of the figure joined by square is a square. So 4 we have got here. So any quadrilateral means parallelogram. Parallelogram means parallelogram only. Rectangle means rhombus. Rhombus means rectangle. Square means square only. So 5, I think 5 everyone please note down. Definitely they will ask as a questions. So next one, area of the square we know side square or diagonal square by 2. Next one, diagonal is equal to side into root 2. Perimeter is equal to 4 into side. So these are the 9 special points we have in square. So very important, note down. The next type of quadrilateral is trapezium. So what is trapezium? A quadrilateral in which has only one pair of opposite sides parallel and other pair of opposite sides not parallel. So here 4 sides we have. In these 2 opposite sides are one pair of opposite sides are parallel, other are not parallel. Then it is called trapezium. Trapezium other name is trapezoid. So note it. Look at the figure here. So ABCD. ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC. AB and DC are parallel. The parallel sides AB, DC of the trapezium ABCD shown in the given figure are called base of the trapezium. So the parallel side, this is base and this also base. Okay, the parallel sides we can call as bases of the trapezium. The pair of angles that contains base, same base, that is, suppose if you take this base, angle A, angle B. If you take this base, angle C and angle D are called base angles. Okay. Next, the line joining the midpoints of non-parallel sides is called median line or simply median. So let us consider the non-parallel sides. Here we have non-parallel sides. AD and CB, these and these are non-parallel sides. The midpoint E and F. The midpoint of AD is E, the midpoint of CB is F. If you join both, then EF coming. That EF is nothing but median of the trapezium. Next, if non-parallel sides of a trapezium are equal, suppose if AD is equal to CB, then it is called isosceles trapezium. Very important. Next, properties look at. The median is the half of the sum of the parallel sides. So here median we discussed EF. EF is equal to half of the sum of the parallel sides. So half of AB is the parallel and DC. AB and DC are parallel sides. So half of AB plus DC. Very important one. Next, in case of isosceles trapezium, the diagonals are also equal to each other. So if it is a isosceles trapezium, then diagonals AC and BD also equal. Let's see next one. Diagonals intersect. Third point, diagonal intersect each other proportionally in the ratio of the lengths of the parallel sides. So diagonals, if you join AC and BD, they meet at the point O, then AO by OC is equal to BO by OD, that is equal to parallel sides AB by CD. So very important, diagonals intersect proportionally in the ratio of lengths of parallel sides. Next, by joining the midpoints of adjacent sides of isosceles trapezium, we will get a rhombus. If it is isosceles trapezium, if you join the midpoints of all sides, then we will get rhombus. Very important one. If trapezium is inscribed in a circle, means cyclic trapezium, then it is an isosceles trapezium. If a trapezium inside a circle, then it is called isosceles trapezium. Area of the trapezium formula we know very well, half into height into sum of the parallel sides. So one more important point we have, relation between diagonals and sides. So diagonal AC square plus BD square is equal to BC square plus AD square plus 2AB into CD. Okay, very important, note it. So this is about trapezium. Next, kite. The quadrilateral in which two pair of adjacent sides are equal. Two pair of adjacent sides are equal is called kite. Look at the figure here. So A, B, C, D is a kite in which AD and DC, these two are adjacent side, these two are equal. Next, AB and BC, these two are also equal. Then we can call ABCD is a kite. So what are the properties we have here? Adjacent sides are equal, that only I said. AD is equal to DC, AB is equal to BC. Next one, shorter diagonal bisected by longer diagonal. So shorter diagonal means AC is the shorter diagonal. Longer diagonal is BD. So BD bisect AC means AO is equal to CO. AO is equal to CO, very important. And the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. AC and BD are perpendicular. Here angle between the diagonals is 90 degrees. The angle at the vertex of shorter diagonals are equal. So shorter diagonal, look at here. What is shorter diagonal here we have here? So this is the shorter diagonal. The angle at the vertex means A. A and C both are equal. Shorter diagonal. The vertex angle at the shorter diagonals are equal. Next, the longer diagonal, that is BD, divides the kite into two congruent triangles. So the longer diagonal means this BD. BD dividing the kite into two triangles. That is nothing but first one ABD. The second one is CBD. So ABD is congruent with DBC. Both triangles are congruent to each other. Okay. So last point, area of the kite is equal to half into product of the diagonals. So half into first one D1 into second one D2, like rhombus. Area of the rhombus and area of the kite having same formulas. The very important point or important concept we have here, that is nothing but cyclic quadrilateral. Every student should learn about cyclic quadrilateral. The quadrilateral whose all four vertices lie on a circle is called cyclic quadrilateral. Let us see the figure here. So suppose a quadrilateral we have like this, A, B, C, D. Okay, and these A, B, C, D, the vertices of A, B, C, D all are lying on a circle. Then the quadrilateral ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. Look at the properties. Sum of the pair of opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180. Easy only. So the opposite angle A and C. If you add A and C, you will get 180. Same here D and B, if you add means 180 will come. Sum of the opposite angles is equal to 180. Next, if a side of cyclic quadrilateral is produced, then the exterior angle so formed is equal to the interior opposite angle. So suppose I extended AB like this. So I got up to E, I extended AB up to E. So the exterior angle means angle CB. Angle CB is equal to opposite angle means D. So angle CB is equal to angle ADC. So hope you understand. Next one, area of the cyclic quadrilateral is very important. Brahmagupta, a mathematician, Brahmagupta invented this formula. So please note it. Square root of S minus A into S minus B into S minus C into S minus D, where S is the semi-perimeter, that is equal to A plus B plus C plus D by 2, where A, B, C, D are the lengths of the sides of the quadrilateral. Put a star mark and note down. Next, area of a cyclic quadrilateral in which a circle can be inscribed is equal to root of A into B into C into D, where A, B, C, D are lengths of the sides of the quadrilateral. So what is this point? What is the difference between these 2 points? Here directly cyclic quadrilateral we can find. This is a special case of the previous one. Area of the cyclic quadrilateral in which a circle can be inscribed. Look at here. So this is the quadrilateral. It is called cyclic when a circle is passing through the vertices. So this is cyclic quadrilateral. In this quadrilateral, again you have to insert a circle like this. Okay. Suppose this is length A, this length is B, this length is C, this length is D. So the length of the sides of the quadrilateral is A, B, C, D. Then the quadrilateral area will be found easily root of product of all the lengths. This case is a special case when a circle can be inserted in a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay. So these are the special points. Please note it.